1 a.m. What kind of savage are you?
Oh, come on, you stay up late. There we go.
Damn,
Now we got some money.
17,200. That is nuts. Those emeralds sell for more than the diamonds, I think.
That can't be right.
No, 11 diamonds for 8,200. Oh god, yeah. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Just
That
ignore.
I mean, neither of us are math majors, but I'm pretty sure that one works out. Then again, I consistently joke with being a liberal arts major, so I can't do math.
Cutscene. What do you want, Pierre?
Hey, it's me.
If you keep buying seeds from me, you'll be twice as productive next year. And I have some exciting news. I'll be selling new seed varieties in my shop next year. I should have one new variety per season. Well, that's all I wanted to say. Have a good one.
I think he's now going to threaten you.
You know, I wouldn't even bother trying my competitor's seeds. Pierre's seeds are the highest quality seeds you'll find anywhere.
Listen,
That's a promise.
Pierre's seed is the highest quality.
What's this thing you say?
Hey, it's the Festival of Ice.
There'll be snowmen, ice sculptures, and an ice fishing competition. Arrive between 9 and 2 p.m. if you'd like to participate.
We should be able to just wreck the fishing competition.
I would hope so. Go up here and feed my cat. I'm gonna feed my cat water, because that's all my cat ever eats. It's just water.
The vegan cat.
It's a fish.
Man, none of these seeds are sprouting. I'm just saying it.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
What?
I don't know what to say. I'm sorry.
No, it's not your fault, is it? Wait, is it your fault?
I don't know. Maybe it is.
You have to tell me if it's your fault.
Why are the cows not eating any of this wheat? The wheat has not been...
Are they happy? Or are they in a good mood, I should say?
They seem like they are. They've got little happy expressions, as far as I can tell from the pixels.
But if you check the, if you right-click on them after you do the petting...
Yeah, they're all full.
This looks really happy today?
Yeah. They're just not eating anything. Maybe we should open this, just in case they want to come out. They may not.
Probably a decent idea. It may just be a glitch. Oh no, it's an auto-feed system, that's why.
Oh, because the barn, it's the bigger barn.
Yeah.
I forgot all about that. And here I was thinking that something else was happening. I'm gonna go down there and buy some sheep.
Alright. You just thought we had bulimic cows.
There was an episode of American Dad where that happened, where Stan, kept thinking he was fat, and he actually looked in the mirror and he would see himself as being,
And they don't show you what he looks like until the very end of the episode.
Yeah, it's actually pretty fucking terrifying, to be honest with you.
Well, the best bit about that is that's actually true. One of my favorite kind of experiments, they call it body dysmorphia, or dysmorphism, and they had an example of a woman who really was just fucking skin and bones, but thought she was fat as hell. But they were talking to her at one point, and what they had her do is they had her lay down on the ground, because she could look at herself and she would see fat every place. She would even pull it little faint flaps of skin on her arm. It's look how fat that is and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But they got her to lay down. They made a chalk outline of her, and they had her watch the entire process so she could confirm they were doing it right and all that. And what was kind of fucked up is once she was done, she kind of lays there and agrees okay, yeah, that was right. But then when she gets up and looks at it, she's like, that can't be right. I'm not that small. And it honestly seemed to fuck with her for a second. She had to actually think really hard about it to recognize that what she was seeing was accurate, because she just couldn't believe that she was actually that small.
Well, it makes you wonder, why they don't heed people's, when they're you are grossly underweight, God, eat something,
Well, I mean, if I told you that you weighed 400 pounds, would you believe me?
No.
Why not? I mean, I'm a doctor. I told you you weigh 500 pounds. Why wouldn't you believe me?
I don't know. I mean, I have a scale and eyes.
Yeah. So you're trusting your own evidence.
Yes.
They are too. The scary thing is they see themselves as being that fat.
Well, I mean, it's put it that way.
It sounds silly because you're entirely correct. You should think that they just need to step on a scale and it would be pretty obvious very quickly. Wow, that's not 400 pounds. But they'll find ways around it. I mean, they'll have reasons why the scale isn't showing it right, or they won't put themselves on the scale if they're not going to accept it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally like a hallucination. I mean, I remember one of the freakier things I remember seeing was they were talking about fMRI studies of human brain for people that are experiencing hallucinations, and how, like, people who have auditory hallucinations, literally, like, their brain is creating conversations. It's not just, like the section that, like, normally would be active if you were hearing stuff is just as active as if you were hearing voices, even though there's no voices there. It's weird shit.
Kind of creepy.
Yeah, I mean, your brain is in a very literal sense, is making voices. And you are actually hearing them. It's not just like, oh, I want to hear something. That's why it's actually
creepy, you know, to explain it to somebody, because that suggests that you are kind of, you know, something's not right with you, but at the same time, you can't really help it.
And it's even stranger to some degree, because, like, as one of the key components to it, to having the hallucination, is that the hallucinations make themselves seem more logical. Like, it's a little hard to explain, but, wow, I take so much damage down here. Jesus. I'm out.
I'm out?
Yeah, I nearly died.
Oof.
On level 3. I was taking 35 damage a hit.
Oof.
But, yeah, it's, like, one of the key, like, I'm trying to think what the, actually, give me one sec to think what it was. Oh, yeah, so there's, I had to learn at one point about different types of disorders that are related to, like, language production.
Okay.
And there were 2 of them in particular that were very similar in their presentation. They both caused the same effect, sort of. But they had one really big difference, was that in that one of them, you were perfectly aware that something was wrong. Like, that you weren't doing what you were trying to do. Like, you'd try to say, you know, hi, how are you? And instead you'd say, like, you know, cornbread apple farm. And you'd know that wasn't right. You'd be aware of it, it'd be upsetting to you, but you couldn't make yourself say the right words. Like, they would just, it's like you couldn't find the word when you're trying to say it.
Yeah.
The other form has the same effect. It's called word salad. But you can't tell you're doing it. Your brain is literally incapable of recognizing that you're not saying what you think you're saying.
What's that called again? Just out of curiosity.
I'm trying to remember it, honestly. There's a specific name for the whole thing of not being able to tell something's wrong. But, I think it's aphasia? I'm gonna look this up, actually.
Good God, this is the hardest fish I have ever had to catch in my life. Playing this game. I'm not even kidding.
Okay, there are different types of aphasias, but it is aphasia, which is basically loss of ability to understand or express speech caused by brain damage.
Finally.
But yeah, there's one form. It's like different areas of the brain you have to hit, but basically you can damage an area that means that what you lose is the ability to tell that something's wrong. Like, that's like the stuff that terrifies me the most in reality.
You know, it was about, I think, 2 years ago, but that happened to my grandma, because she came in from town. I don't know, I think they ended up saying it was like a pen stroke or something, but
Yeah.
she was legitimately just talking gibberish to me. I couldn't understand a word that she was saying. She didn't know who I was. I'd been living with my grandparents for like 7 years to that point.
Yeah.
She couldn't tell me what my name was. She was just kind of smiling as she talked. She'd just gotten back from driving like an hour to a dental appointment. She got back just fine, but she didn't know where she was or anything. And we had no idea what the hell was going on. And, like, it only lasted like a day. And then the next day, like you know, we took her to the hospital and everything. And then, bam, she's, like, right now, you know, she's, like, in the other room right now. She's perfectly fine. It was so weird. It just happened out of nowhere. And I was freaking the fuck out because I was the only one here. And I was like, oh, God, what do I do? What's going on? And I actually, See, I was so scared at that moment because I didn't know what was going on that I got mad. I was just like, like, I can't understand what you're saying. I was screaming at her because she kept doing it. I was getting more and more scared because I didn't know what was happening to her.
Yeah, that's understandable.
And she was kind of just like laughing because it was almost like she was trying to explain, but she couldn't. She could not simply use her words.
Yeah, and she may have been trying to explain. I mean, but it's amazingly frustrating for other people, especially in the form of aphasia where they can't tell they're doing it. But even when they can tell, it can be very upsetting for them and for other people. It's actually one of the reasons why when they talk about a lot of brain damage and stuff like that, they have support groups not only for people that have the brain damage, but for family members as well, because it tends to be just so upsetting and difficult to deal with.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that is absolutely my top fear in life is like some kind of serious
to that point?
brain damage. What?
You getting to that point where you are going through that, or just having to deal with it?
Me, well, both, honestly. I mean, it's one of the things, like, I mean, honestly, like, I sort of have a real respect for people that, they're told, like, hey, the kid, your wife's pregnant or something, the kid's going to be born with, like, severe deficits. Like, your kid is going to be born with, like, fetal alcohol syndrome, that's more avoidable, or, like, Klinefelter's syndrome, like, extra Y chromosome or something.
Yeah.
Like, I can respect, and I deeply do respect people that are like, no, we're going to keep doing this, we're going to do that. But I mean, like, I don't think I'd have it in me. I honestly think that I'd largely be like, no, abort, nope. Like, I don't want to put the kid through that. I don't want to put myself through that. I think I could handle it, but I mean, like, I really don't want to do that.
Well, that's way more than just having a child. That's having a child and then basically having to take care of a disabled old person that, your whole life. Yeah, that's a weird way to phrase it. I'm not phrasing it quite the right way.
I know what you mean, though. Like, I dealt with a woman at one point who had a daughter who was, I think she was almost 20, I think, but she was severely disabled in terms of, like, cognitive capacity was just very low. Very sweet girl most of the time, but also very violent. Like, if she got upset, she would attack her grandmother because she didn't really know any better. And the thing was, this poor woman who, again, I have the deepest respect for the fact that she really sacrificed a lot of her life to kind of taking care of this girl. But I mean, like, at one point when I was in the office talking with her, she was just crying. She's like, I don't trust the last place we went. They weren't taking good care of her, and I feel like I have to take care of her, and I have to do what's right for her. But it's destroying me. I can't have a life. I can't be happy. I can't stay healthy. If I have to take care of her, I have to put her somewhere, but I can't be okay with it like that. And I was like, that is literally the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, a lot of what I was doing was, like, trying to help her find a place she could be okay with and that the girl would be okay with, but god damn.
Yeah, that's something that I'm also, like, I would also consider to be worth fearing. If you get tied, like, you love your family, but what happens when you get stuck taking care of your family?
Yeah.
Oh, you're already in bed. Okay.
I mean, I'm 100% of the fact, like, I mean, I worked, my parents have told me explicitly that they want, like, my mom especially, that when she's old, she says, just stick me in a nursing home, don't get me in your way of your life. And I was kind of okay with going along with that until I worked at a few of them, and now I really have this feeling of, like, no, I'm gonna search for one that's fucking astounding if I have to, and otherwise
not a nursing home, more like a
like a community or something.
Yeah, but I mean, like one of those resort places, kind of.
But I've worked at one of those places. I don't think I could live with myself if I put them in one and didn't, like, literally know 110% that it was going to be, like, the best place.
Yeah.
The best of whatever the best of my abilities can give, but yeah, like, holy fuck, those are just horrific choices to have to make in some cases. And I think the thing that bothers me is, like, if my parents got ill, like, that's unavoidable. Like, that was not, you couldn't predict that. But the one that kills me is the people who are like, well, okay, you were told that, your son or daughter was going to be born with, like, severe deficits and severe problems. I really don't blame somebody who decides at that point, no, we're not going to have the kid if that's going to be the case. Hey, new baby duckling.
It does leave you to
stuff?
wonder, you know... Oh, we can milk the goats now. I didn't know that. It leaves you to wonder if it might not even be better for... And this is a conversation that people would argue for the rest of the time, but would it just be better for that child to just, you know, not even put it through that life? You know, because
Yeah.
it's not going to be a full life anyways. It's going to be a life where they may not even understand half of it. Or...
Yeah, and I mean, I've seen examples of people that are very disabled who have wonderful lives and who can still, and I don't feel that I'm in a position where I can necessarily judge some of that. But at the same time, I mean, there are some cases where I feel like it's just obvious enough that I don't feel it's not like it's not something I feel like I have doubts over.
Right.
I don't know, man, that's a grim one.
Very deep conversation today.
Yeah. But I mean, I actually had this same conversation at one point. Actually, hold on 1 second.
Did you take care of the chickens? Okay, I think you did.
I was having a conversation with that friend of mine recently, and yeah, I've told you in the past I've had kind of like concerns. They were sort of like hinting they wanted to do like a relationship or something. And on some level, I find the idea appealing. I really like them, but one of the main concerns I had, and I felt bad about saying it, was just the fact that they're really not very stable. And I can't say on the... I think, honestly, like, if I'm being objectively and not trying to just be, like, super humble about it, I'm a fairly stable person, perhaps even too much so in some cases. But I guess, like, I was sort of recognizing that... Okay, so we can still get into town. Like, one of the main reasons I didn't want to necessarily pursue, like, a relationship with him is I was like, you need to get your life together a little more.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
like,
I don't want to jump into something like that.
I'm absolutely ready to deal with somebody that has crises in their life and has problems. Like, I'm totally okay with that. I expect it. I would want to help them with that. But the person that I'm, like, with more seriously, it's, like, I think they've got to have, like, a certain ability to avoid problems, at least to reasonably avoid problems and to handle some problems to some degree.
Yeah.
To a reasonable extent. Like, I mean, honestly, like, I was reading a thing about a guy who said that he kind of broke down when his grandfather died, and his girlfriend left him at the time, and he was feeling really shitty about it. And I mean, like, that seems unreasonable to me. Like, that's... I mean, people are going to occasionally have, like, really unpredictable reactions to horrible events, and, like, a loss of a loved one, that would make sense. But I think it's more like if... Like, the last time my friend was visiting, having, like, one day where for no reason, according to them, for no reason, they just had a moment where they just really were fucking angry and upset and frustrated. And there's just nothing I could really do about that. And they were kind of pissed off at me for no particular reason. And afterwards, they fully recognized it. Were like, I'm really sorry about that, and don't let come over me. It's hard to deal with. I have no doubt they really didn't have any bad intent, but...
Yeah. At least they realized it, though.
Yeah, but...
Some people wouldn't even go that, like, wouldn't do that, and that would be...
Oh, yeah.
The big problem there.
If they didn't realize it, I wouldn't even be friends with them, honestly, probably. But even though they recognize it's just... I don't think I could deal with that long term. I wouldn't want to, certainly.
Yeah. By the way, let me know when you want to try to go to that festival.
Where is it?
You gotta act like you're going to Marnie's, like...
Oh, south. Okay, I'll head down there now.
Oh god, it's another crazy fish. Oh, I lost it. Okay, that's fine. I'm just down here, like... I went this way when you went down to the beach, and I thought you were gonna come this way, too. Mermaid. I don't know what this is. It's a pear. Sandcastle. Igloo. Where's Pierre at? Does he have anything special to sell us?
He must, I imagine.
I don't even see him. Are you Pierre? No, you're Harvey.
No, Pierre's right over here, actually. He's not selling anything.
Oh, he's not?
No, he's making snowmen. The ice fishing competition is where we're going to clean up.
Oh, there's the mayor. Okay. Welcome to the Festival of Ice. The highlight of today's festival is the ice fishing competition. We set up this frozen lake and stocked it full of fish. Just let me know when you're ready to compete. Are you ready to participate? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you sure? We're probably going to go up against some hardcore ice fishers here. Alright, everyone, let's begin this year's ice fishing competition. Now, I know these two new strangers have shown up and won every competition we've had so far, but don't let that deter you from trying your best.
Very small hole in the ice, though.
You must catch your fish here from these holes in the ice. Okay? Uh-huh, I'm ready. Begin!
According to mine, you just cast into the ice.
Oh, I did. I don't know if I'm going to catch anything because I did, but I'll try. I mean, it's ice fishing. We're not fishing for fish, we're fishing for ice. Oh, yeah, just cast down there. That's great.
I'm getting garbage. I keep missing my cast.
What a fun competition.
At least it's
Ooh,
fairly short.
2 minutes of this. I don't know if I can contain myself.
At least somebody's playing music in the background.
What fun.
I've only got 4 fish. This is garbage. Yeah, 5, I guess.
It could be like me and my brother when we were like 12 years old. I was like 10 and 12. We went to like this big city Easter egg hunt or something. And they had like a competition, whoever gets the most, eggs wins this, and whoever gets this, like they had like 3 different stipulations to win, and me and my brother combined our eggs at the very end, so we won the thing where you get like the most eggs.
I'll show those city boys.
We cheated.
I've only got 6, I think.
I think we tied. I don't know. I forgot what I had. Willie probably won. Cheater. The smell. I guess the mayor doesn't like fish.
Yeah, apparently not. They seem alive, though.
They're still in water. Oh, I got 7. Huh. Okay.
Oh, nice.
What do I get? A sailor's
You get a
cap.
captain's hat.
Yeah. Ooh, a magnet bait. Okay, just fishing crap, essentially. Let's release these poor fish. Willie, you have one job, and you couldn't even do it.
It's the only thing I'm good at, and I still failed. I throw himself off the pier.
Huh. I don't know, I guess the sailor's hat isn't that bad.
Hey, it's not helping the gay aesthetic here. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Not at all.
Yeah, we'll have goat cheese tomorrow.
Nice. You've seen that episode of Seinfeld, right? The one they just constantly... Not there's anything wrong with that.
Probably not. I don't watch... I've watched bits and pieces of Seinfeld, admittedly, but I've never watched, like, the entire thing.
I have a hard time going back and watching some of it, 'cause some of it is really cringy. But it was just one episode where they, for some reason, they were talking about, like, a gay friend or something, and every time they mention, like, the fact that he's gay, they're all clearly okay with it, and it's not like that thing they bother with, but they all clearly feel the need to very awkwardly keep saying, "Not there's anything wrong with that," just like not at all. And I just loved it because it's such a wonderful example of people that are clearly like trying to be supportive, but just clearly are also still very uncomfortable and don't know how to like just not make a big deal out of it.
Yeah.